Hello viewers, in today's video we are going to see if the BRICS nations pose a real threat to the US dollar. I'm sure most of us know by now that they are seeking to replace the United States as the world's economic and financial world reserve currency. For those who do not know who the BRICS nations, they are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, there have been at least 24 countries that have expressed their interest in joining the BRICS nations, including Argentina, Nigeria, Mexico, even Saudi Arabia. These countries are not going to be colonies of China as a result of the development bank. Now, their main reason that they want to join the BRICS nations is to access cheap loans, especially from China. Once countries join, BRICS' goal is to unite their political and economic muscles to diversify from the dependence on the dollar and the increasingly unreliable United States. As of now, the BRICS combined make up nearly half of the world's population, about 3.2 billion, on their way to 4 billion. As these new countries kick the tires, their combined GDP is 27 trillion, even in nominal terms. This is higher than the US and in PP terms, the control for local prices and manipulated currencies. Their economies are twice the size of the US already, and they're growing faster, so they're on their way to be 3 times. Therefore, BRICS pose a greater challenge to the US dominance than the EU ever will. Do BRICS pose a threat to the US dollar as well? As BRICS aim to build a currency rivaling the dollar, countries in the BRICS will likely replace the dollar with their own currencies in the near term. Based on the purchasing power parity, the BRICS have surpassed the Group of Seven, G7, in terms of gross domestic product. BRICS countries account for 16% of the world trade and 41% of global population. As a result, BRICS countries account for nearly 31.5% of global GDP, while countries in the G7 account for 30.7%. Leaders of the BRICS nations want a currency that gives other countries more ease, in addition of not having to worry about sanctions being placed on them. In 2009, China surpassed the United States as Brazil's main trading partner, and is a major market for Brazilian soybeans, iron ore, and oil. China is now investing the most in Latin America, primarily in a high-tension electric transmission lines and oil production. In fact, as of last month, Brazil and China are making it easier to settle foreign trade operations in yuan and reais, eliminating the need for a third currency. A gold trading system is also being discussed among Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. The BRICS leaders are trying their best to move away from the traditional system based in London, as new trade hubs emerge mainly in India, China, and South Africa. The traditional trade system based in London and partially in Swiss cities, is becoming less relevant. A significant shift in power from the west to the east could have a huge impact on the gold market. One of the biggest gold producers in the world is China, followed by Russia, South Africa, and Brazil. Gold has also been aggressively purchased by China's central bank. De-dollarization is clearly being purchased by Russia and China. As the world looks for alternatives to the dollar, they are increasingly found. Many reasons exist for the world to divest of dollars and no longer rely on the US dollar as a reserve currency. Plus, the United States gave them another option. Economic sanctions imposed by the Biden administration on Russia highlighted how dangerous it is for the United States to enjoy this privilege. We have thus frightened the world into divesting out of dollars. which they should have done anyways because it was in their economic interest. US dollar dominance is a privilege that the US enjoys at the expense of the rest of the world. It allows Americans to live beyond their means. We consume things that we didn't even produce. If we lose that privilege, our standard of living will plummet. We can only do that because we print money that we don't have to pay for, and our trading partners will accept that instead of actual goods. It's safe to say that other economies prefer not to be influenced by American currencies, monetary policies, and trade patterns. With a stable currency and a non-interventionist policy, the BRICS could even compete for non-BRICS trades, which makes up half of world trade. The real game changer for BRICS and the dollar would be something. Gold-backed currencies have been flirted by both China and Russia. In the Ukraine war, Russia implemented an odd kind of gold backing, and both China and Russia have been buying gold furiously. That fuels speculation that they are planning to use it as a currency backer. When they roll out a gold-backed currency, it will be one that is redeemable in gold. Among currencies, it would be the safest way to store wealth. With a non-interventionist foreign policy, it would be a clear winner over the dollar. As a result, consequences for the U.S. economy and a gold bank competitor would be the fastest way to accomplish this. It will probably be years before this happens. Despite internal brick trade, there will be developing systems to replace SWIFT, the dollar's payment rails. The writing is still on the wall, of course, but it'll be interesting to find out or build a replacement while the U.S. is running trillion-dollar deficits and weaponizing the dollar. With China's deep pockets and deep interest, it's perhaps only a matter of time.